Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Future Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Juliette Lamar, and joining us today is Florian Wimmer. He is a co-founder and CEO at Blockpit, as well as he was named by Forbes in their 30 under 30. So we're very excited to have him on the show today. Welcome, Florian.
Hi, Juliette. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So give us a little bit, we have to dive in a little bit to the Forbes 30 under 30. That's a huge honor. And what was it like when you knew that you were named in this really prestigious list?
Yeah, actually, it was hit me by surprise because it's like someone has to nominate you, and I have no idea who did. And I just got an email like, congratulations, you are Forbes 30 under 30, and I almost just deleted it because I thought it was spam. But no, really great. I mean, I got to know a lot of very, very interesting people from the other 30s. Definitely an honor, definitely something I didn't expect. Yeah, definitely something that also has like a nice ring to it, right?
It really does. It really does. Just add that right to the resume.
Exactly.
So, Florian, we have you on here because we're very excited about your company. Tell us a little bit more, our listeners, a little bit more about Blockpit.
Yeah, so Blockpit it came into existence September last year. It kind of was, the result of a problem that I myself and my co-founders had, because we are really deep into the whole cryptocurrency blockchain scene for like about 3 years and a little bit longer. And yeah, I mean, as you know, it's been a kind of hype last year with Bitcoin being in the mass media and everything. And that came with a lot of problems for me because I was trading a lot with Bitcoin. I did mining. I did all that stuff. I tried out a lot of things. But I really didn't think about like the consequences that this could have tax-wise. And I have a background, a kind of tech background, but also working at KPMG. So I got a little bit into the economic side and knew a lot of people there. And well, they told me how I have to like pay taxes for all the profits I made during trading with cryptocurrencies. And I really thought only once I eventually cash out back into euro or dollar, then I would be liable to tax. But as it seems, in most countries of the world, you really have to calculate every trade that you do. And well, it made me sit down and put up an Excel sheet, try to calculate my taxes. And well, I failed miserably. I wasted a lot of time and I think I did it really incorrectly. So that's when I realized this is a big problem and probably not just for me. And there has to be a solution. And there was no software or something that could assist you in that. And yeah, so we thought, me and my co-founders, who are some ex-colleagues in tax and data analytics at KPMG, well, let's do something to solve this and not just do it for us, but make it a business because there's so many people out there who are most likely to have the same problem. And that's when Blockpit was like the result out of that.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, that's really the basis of it, is there's a problem that needs solving. And so you go and provide a solution.
That's what we're trying to do, yeah.
So in your years working in this space, what really keeps you motivated?
Well, I mean, it's really highly interesting. I think blockchain and cryptocurrencies, it's like really a disruptive technology. We've been like in this financial sector in a long time. We have really great like new technology coming out with smartphones and everything. You still have like this old economy, the banking system and everything. And I think with blockchain technology, we can make such a huge step towards like speed and cost efficiency. So being part of like the very beginning of this new economy and this new disruptive change, I think that will come, keeps me definitely motivated and is a great chance for me to like make something really impactful.
No, absolutely. And in this space, like I mentioned and talked to all of our guests about how you can go any direction with it. The possibilities truly are endless in the use cases, in the direction that you can go with any of these things. That's got to be working in that space. It's hard to really focus in on one thing. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great projects out there. I myself am really interested and also investing a little myself. But this is like a problem that's right here, right now. So a lot of projects are going into the future and theoretical changes and theoretical protocols and decentralized applications. But I think we just try to focus on something that needs solving right now. I mean, it's not the most interesting topic. I think taxes is not something people like to deal with, but someone has to do it. And I think it's really a great chance to offer here like a kind of layer for all the people that don't have a tech background or not that tech savvy, and bring them a solution that like takes kind of away this worry about tax uncertainty that a lot of people have right now.
And I think that a lot of people don't think about that when they are just jumping into the space, because there's this mentality of you have to get in quickly. So there's this rush that happens. People get into it and they don't necessarily even understand how to report their cryptocurrency taxes and portfolios.
Yeah, either they don't understand or not even think about it, as you said, or they think they are secure, like behind this kind of anonymity of Bitcoin. Like it has this touch to it, like media says it's like used for all kind of illegal activities and it's anonymous, but that's not really true. I mean, in the last years when it was like a really small community, there was the government didn't have an eye on it. It was like some kind of internet money. But right now with this certain hype and the market like growing to billions and billions of dollars, they are now really interested in what's happening here and their piece of the cake, so to say. So there are a lot of like possibilities to trace down transactions over the blockchain to real individuals, and that is happening right now. And I think media will also like adopt it and hopefully like make people realize that this is like real economy and a real market and real business, and also you're liable to taxes.
And that really, I think, for people who truly believe in cryptocurrency as the next form of payment and really where we're headed, taxes are going to be a part of it. And in order for it to be more widely accepted and potentially used in the ways that people want it to be used, similar to fiat, it's going to have to be subject to taxes, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be regulations for all like the big players, like entities, like existing corporates, funds, venture capitals, and everything to get into the market, like the real money, so to say. You need to have regulations first. There's just no way around it, and also taxes, of course. I mean, all the companies have to be based in some kind of jurisdiction, and therefore be liable to regulation. And there has been no know-how like in the regulatory sector when it comes to blockchain, and this know-how is forming right now. They're working on regulations like specifically for the currency blockchain, something that hasn't been here before. Some countries use existing law and regulations to kind of cover it. It really doesn't work because there are use cases you just can't apply these laws to. And I think that will happen in the next 1 or a maximum of 2 years, that we really have specific laws regarding cryptocurrencies. And that might open the doors for all these big institutions to really get into it.
No, absolutely. And people, you can try to run from regulation and things, but in this world, eventually, it is going to be information that people can track down and see. So you could get yourself into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is always this privacy movement. Like there are coins and technologies out there trying to hide the people behind transactions and everything. But at some point, you will have to like have a touch point to the real world. At least when you are trying to buy something or you're trying to cash out into some other kind of form of asset, that you will have some kind of traction. And it's not like the government has to prove that you're liable to tax, but you have to prove that how you made your money once they find out that you, I don't know, just bought an expensive car or a house or something. They're asking you where did the money come from. And with anti-money laundering regulations, like banks can't really accept your assets anymore. So if you try to cash out a higher amount of money, you will have to provide some kind of proof of origin, or they just won't accept it anymore because they think it's black money or it comes from somewhere. They don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting back to Blockpit as a platform, walk us through a few of the features that you offer.
Yeah, so what we are basically doing is getting all the transactions and all the money flow that's attached to a person into one track record. So we are reading out wallets. So you just give us your public key of the wallet you're controlling, and also like API access, read-only access to the exchanges you're trading on. And what we're doing is like getting all your transactions in real time, by API calling and having our own blockchain nodes running. And then standardizing this data, and depending on the legislation in your country, you have to set that yourself, where you're based, providing you with all the information about your tax liabilities. And ultimately handing you a finished report that you can get assessed by a legal tax accountant, or maybe even directly report to the government. So depending on which country you're in, we are trying to really work together with the government. We're doing that right now with the Austrian government. That's where we're based. So in Austria, we will be approved as like the institution to handle your cryptocurrency tax reporting. So you don't even need a tax consultant anymore. So you can just do it via our platform. And we're of course trying to get into other countries as well.
Oh, that would be great. And it could be all set up to be automatic so that you don't have to be hassled with it whatsoever.
Yeah, so our goal is to have like a one-time setup where you take about 30 to 40 minutes inputting all your different income sources with, like I said, the API keys, wallet keys, and then also help you with the kind of tax optimization. So giving you input specifically tied to your portfolio and your trading behavior on how to optimize your taxes for your country.
No, that's fantastic. And going along with this is privacy and security. What is Blockpit's stance on that as far as their customers go, and what steps do you put in place to protect this very sensitive information?
That is where blockchain technology really comes into play. So there are kind of competitors coming out right now. So a few people realizing this tax problem and also trying to provide a solution for that. But what really will make us unique is that we are trying to use blockchain for so-called zero knowledge proofs, meaning that you can report your taxes and give a proof that you correctly calculated the taxes without laying bare your wallets, your exchange API keys, your trades and everything to the government. You can do that by blockchain by just like having a platform or an institution who is verified to calculate the taxes, doing so, sending a hash of your like finished calculations to the government, and once you're reporting your taxes, they can just control that hash and verify that you didn't do any alterations to your tax calculations afterwards before reporting it.
Excellent. And do you have a tangible product that people can use, or are we still in the beginning stages?
So we have a beta version live since January. That's when we launched our MVP. We have a few thousand users right now on it who are really active and really helping us develop the tool in the right direction. But yeah, as I said, so jurisdiction-wise, we are still focused on Europe, Central Europe, like Germany, Austria, the DACH region, and trying to get all of Europe and the US like set up until the end of the year, because that's like the markets where it's the biggest problem right now with taxes. I think in Asia, it will still take a while for people to really take this tax problem more seriously. Governments like setting rules into place. But in Europe and the US, we have like really willing taxpayers, so to say. So it's a big issue here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's of course a lot of improvement possible. So we are, really working hard on user experience. So making it usable even for not tech-savvy people. And yeah, we think the next hype will come when cryptocurrencies again will make it to the mass media. Right now, we're in a little bit of a bear market, a little bit of silence around the market. But once it will come and people are starting to get into the whole topic again, there will be a lot of people who don't have like tech background and still want to get into it, and will also face the consequences of taxes. And so our tool should really be easily usable for everyone out there.
Absolutely. And you touched on it a bit, but where do you really see this whole industry going in the next 3 years?
Yeah, I think it has the potential to go mainstream. Right now, as you've said before, regulations are very, very much needed. And it will definitely change. Like the things we saw last year with ICOs and token sales raising millions and millions of dollars without like real restriction behind it. I think those days will be gone. All this fundraising and stuff will be kind of regulated. But on the other side, there is the so-called decentralized exchanges. So stock markets that can't really be regulated because they are a protocol like the internet and no one behind it. So that is something I think will be a really, really big focus on in the next months or years, having this decentralized protocols, platforms. I don't really know how governments will handle this. I think they have to set up at the endpoints like exchanges that are really incorporated somewhere. That would be really interesting. And right now, in terms of efficiency and cost efficiency, I think this kind of tokenization of assets is a really, really big thing. Like tokenize everything where you right now have contracts and like asset papers, derivatives. If you have really like this a cryptocurrency or a token for all that stuff like real estate, you can make this process so much more efficient. And I think it will go in the better direction.
I truly hope so. And you yourself are having a token sale currently. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're releasing our own token, like I said, as a kind of fuel for these zero knowledge proofs, because you would have to write it on blockchain and of course like pay for it, but also as a kind of application access token for our platform. So we don't want our users to pay for our services in dollars, euros, or whatever, because everybody who needs our services kind of has to be into crypto. So I think it's only logical that we accept like kind of fee for the use of our service with crypto or just our own token. So that's what the main issue will be for that. And for us, it's kind of, yeah, of course, for fundraising. So it's a really quick space. Like startups move really quick, and I think in crypto it's even quicker. And we want to stay ahead of the herd, like with competitors coming out right now and trying to get into other markets, other countries. We will need a lot of like legal support. Well, costs will definitely rise, and so that's why we decided to use the form of ICO or token sale for fundraising.
Oh, that's fantastic. And where's the best place for people to learn more about Blockpit token, to follow your journey, and to really connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, we are set up on almost every social media. We have our own blog where we really try to like cover all the basics of blockchain, cryptocurrency, also for newcomers. We really want to educate people about all the regulatory stuff coming out. So yeah, definitely follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are posting a lot of updates there, and check out our websites. There's a lot of information on there as well.
Florian, thank you so much for joining us here today on Future Tech Podcast and giving us this very powerful tool for moving forward with our cryptocurrencies and ourselves being regulated.
Yeah, thank you very much for the time. Really enjoyed it.
That is Florian Wimmer. He is the CEO and co-founder at Blockpit. I'm Juliet Lamar. Thank you all so much for joining us here today on Future Tech Podcast.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.